At this point, I'm going to introduce our guest speaker from Shelton, a past player. Mike DeFelice played for me back in 1995. He was on the 1995 state championship team. He's been around Shelton football his whole life. He came back and coached. He is currently our head freshman football coach, and he's a great coach. He's a great person. He teaches in our education system. The last 3 years as the freshman football coach, I got to say, is because I know he's proud of this. This year he went 10-1 as a freshman. The year before 9-1, and the year before that 9-1. The last 3 years he had a lot of success at the freshman program, and he does a great job of getting those kids ready to come up to the next level. So I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Mike DeFelice.
Thanks, Coach Roy. I'd like to thank the Rotary Club for putting on this event every year. I remember 13 years ago, sitting right about over there, my senior year, and just soaking everything in, and can't believing that 4 years went by in a flash, and it does, and 13 years goes by even quicker. I'd like to thank Coach Roy for inviting me here to represent Shelton football. It's a great honor for me. Thanksgiving is a special time of year. This is especially true here in New England. No matter where you are, home calls to you. Friends and family gather for a traditional meal and to catch up on the past year's events. But for us here in the Valley, Thanksgiving takes on a little more. For us in the Valley, it means football. And not just any football, but traditional games that have been played for decades. You seniors on both sides of the ball have the honor and privilege to be a part of this and to add a chapter to this ever-expanding story of pride, determination, victory, and defeat. I'm sure anyone in this room who's played or watched a Thanksgiving Day game has a story or a favorite story of a game that really sticks in their mind, something that was either a proud moment, a happy moment, a disappointing moment. There's always at least one or two that you have there that stays with you forever. For you seniors, this is your moment to shine. Your moment to bring your school and community together. Your moment to make that everlasting memory. If you don't believe that this game is a big deal, just listen to how people talk about it. They say things like, "Are we going to win?" Or "How are we looking for Thanksgiving?" All of a sudden, it's not about just the 40 or 50 players on either side of the football. It's about Shelton and it's about Derby. It's about two communities coming together to continue a great, great tradition that's been going on for well over 100 years. Young and old, past players and future stars, new and lifelong residents, state playoffs on the line, or as in this case this year, simply playing for pride. You can see, hear, and even feel how much this game means to so many people on both sides of the river. This year, as Coach Roy mentioned, it's especially heart-wrenching for me because this was the first class of seniors that I had as freshman football players. Definitely didn't have the record we wanted back then. It's still not the record I wanted to have now. But they were a great group of guys, and I'm glad to see that many of them, and there was a lot more. There was probably about double of what you see here now on that freshman team. I'm glad to see that they stuck it out, they stuck together, and ended up with a great senior year, like Coach Roy said. I was an assistant for many years in Shelton and then over in Newtown for a couple years before I coached these guys, and I coached many kids who went on to great things both on and off the field, the football field. But like I said, this being my first group, I have a real interest in them, and I hope they go on to do great things. I know they're going to go on to do great things because they're just a great group of guys. I remember my senior year Thanksgiving Day game at Derby. I remember the pregame speech that our defensive coordinator, Ken Roberts, gave. It was one of probably the most inspiring speeches I ever heard in my life, all the years I've been playing and coaching football. I remember the anxiety we all had because if we win that game, we're 8-2 and we're going to the state playoffs, the first year that they actually have the current playoff system that they have now. And I remember that absolute joy of walking off that field celebrating with my teammates that 22-0 victory over Derby. It's a day I will not soon forget, not just the game itself, but for what it represented. It was a culmination of 4 years of hard work and dedication at a level that I never committed to before. It was a foundation that allowed me to move on to college and my teaching career. It's what drove me to want to give back to the community that I love so dearly and still do. Football has taught me so many lessons that I could go on and we'd be here all day. But I won't, because we have other things to do. In closing, though, I would like to wish both sides good luck on Thursday. Stay safe. Seniors, when you get a moment, take in the day, if only for a moment. If only one little instant grab a memory that you can hold on to forever. Again, thank you to everyone who puts on the Luncheon, the Rotary Club. Good luck to everyone, and go Gales.